Hello all you lovely people, and welcome back to Memoirs of a Gretchen. Guess what happened to me? I got in a car accident. But that's not what I'm going to talk about today. It is, however, car accident related in a sense. To start off with, I grew up with major two kinds of camping. One being going to a campsite and camping, like literally in tents, out in the middle of nowhere, kind of stuff like that. And two, being all of my family members gather their camper, or in our case a tent, or a tent, and we go out and we backyard camp at one of my relatives' large country home. The house, and then like 5 or 6 campers like circled around, and then we have a nice fire pit, hanging out with the family. We'd have fires every night. It was generally really awesome. I still do, however, get hurt all the time. So in this particular situation, this was at my Aunt Mandy and Uncle John's house out in the country. I think I was in middle school around the time, and my cousin Taylor had just gotten a Go Kart. So naturally, all of us are taking turns with it. Just like a small Go Kart, it had like the cage over the top and whatnot. Of course, we're under supervision, kind of, sort of, mostly. And then, of course, so then it comes my turn, or at least I asked, and my dad let me, and didn't ask my mom if it was okay with her. So then I'm, the 7th grade, 8th grade? I don't know. And I'm driving around in this go-kart. I faintly hear someone yelling me to make wider turns, because I guess I was turning too sharply and I would have flipped it. So naturally I start making wider turns, and it starts to rain. And there's no protectant. Of course I've got a helmet on with a face shield, and I'm making a wide turn, and then just all of a sudden I'm airborne. And then sliding, and apparently from eyewitness testimony, I made such a wide turn, I caught this iron bar, like, fence post. I caught it on, like, I think the right side on the, like, axle part, and since it's not protected, it just, like, rammed it. And I, like, drove up this fence post, and since it was on the one side, it's just like I drove up and I, like, flipped, and then I landed on my top, and then I slid. I was told it was straight out of something from the Dukes of Hazzard. But yeah, so I land on the top in the cage, and I'm, fairly well strapped in, so I'm hanging upside down, dazed and confused. And of course, instantly, they're running out there. I get flipped back over, and they have to take the cage off of the top to get me out. 'Cause I had a sudden, sharp, really bad pain in my leg. In, like, I think my left femur, I think it was. It was one of my femurs. And they're like, oh no. Because Gretchen has a penchant for breaking her bones. So one trip to the ER later, we find out I have not broken any of my bones. Thankfully. But at the same time, I think I had, like, deep tissue bruising or something. It was really intense. So that's how I drove up a fence post, and I have never been able to forget it. My extended family will not allow it. In fact, that was probably one of the topics of conversation at the family party I had to miss because of said car accident earlier. Because I guess it is now a yearly thing that we have luau's now out at Aunt Dottie and Uncle Robert's place. I was leaving Friday to go home, spend a weekend with my family, have the luau. It would have been awesome. I was gonna be partners with my sister in this game of frisbee, beer bottle on a pole. I don't even remember what it's called. We got really drunk last year playing it because I'm not very good at throwing and aiming things in the first place. And then when you add booze into it, it was gonna be an awesome weekend because the end of the weekend was my dad's birthday and I had a cool present lined up. This whole thing kind of just really put a wrench in my works. I didn't even call my dad on his birthday because I was so wrapped up with insurance crap. So happy belated birthday, Dad. You're the best. Thank you for not consulting Mom and letting me drive go-karts when I was little. Guys, if you were curious about this guy, I was testing out some makeup on my skin for a cosplay idea that I plan on wearing at Dragon Con and probably therein, because it's gonna be awesome. If you guys are familiar with the SCP Foundation, if you guys want to learn more about what I'm doing here, check out my Tumblr in the bottom. I've got a few entries about how I'm going about making this guy, and it's upsetting. Did you like this story? Help support Memoirs of a Gretchen by subscribing, liking, or even just leaving a comment. If you'd like to hear a certain topic, say so in the comments, and if I have a story that fits it, I'll tell it. PG-13 though, please. Think of the children! Just remember, it's a true story.